Hey there, Saints fans. Welcome back to Talking Saints. This is our last video for the NFL draft, and we're super excited. And to celebrate, Alex is rocking a NFL draft Green Bay shirt, and I'm rocking my number 9 shirt, obviously
Yep.
Drew Brees, but also the pick we have.
Picked this up when I went to the Saints versus Packers game. This is not a Green Bay Packers affiliation sort of thing. Die hard black and gold. It's just because the draft is in Green Bay.
And we're super excited. I'm a huge fan of the NFL draft. And I'll say, we've actually, just to talk about the episode, we've done this episode already. An hour and a
We
half.
had an hour and 20...
15 minutes, actually.
Hour and 15-minute episode for you guys.
And the audio was absolutely corrupted.
Yeah,
Just
no, it
terrible.
It just
So-
sounded terrible.
So we were going to do a mock draft, but we've already done 3 for you.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of go over those. But the big thing, the big news of the day, for the week or whatever, is Derek Carr. Derek Carr's done. And it was just such a,
I hate having to talk about this
I know.
again. But Derek Carr, we gave you some chances. We try to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I think we're pretty fair with it.
But truthfully, man, you never embraced the team. You never embraced the city. You never embraced the culture. And honestly, man, I don't think there's a Saints fan out there who's gonna miss you. I hate that you're still draining the pocket of the salary cap, but we'll pay you to sit at home. Just we don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Especially
good luck.
if the rumors are true that your camp had released the idea that you weren't playing right before the draft. What a crappy thing to do.
Yeah. And the thing is, I get you. Allegedly, he asked for a trade. He has to be cutted. I mean, I wish we would have done either of those options, but we restructured him, and he had a little pity party for himself, and his camp, actually put it out there, that he's injured and not playing. So now all these other teams know that they should try to trade up. That we might be taking a quarterback, but we'll see. Maybe that's smoke screen too. Who knows?
Either way, no matter what, we're excited. The NFL draft is such a time of, if you do it right, it could change your team, change the future of your team.
I mean, we've done it before. We've had 3 straight 7-9 seasons before, and then knocked the draft. Did great on the draft and rebuilt the team and had a lot of success with that team. Should have won a Super Bowl. But we have that rare opportunity to start all over again. We got a new head coach.
Yeah, and we have
Dennis Allen's gone.
A lot
That's
of picks to do that. We traded away Lattimore, so we have a couple extra picks that we didn't have last time.
Yeah, that's true.
But for the first time in forever, this is a chance we could draft a first-round quarterback, which we kind of we did. We have, like I said, we have 3 drafts. We're going to go over those with you. We did some different things. We traded in one, so we have 3 drafts here for you. One is we're going to call it the building for the future. 2 is the Jackson Dart approach.
Yep.
And 3 is the Shedeur Sanders approach, and that's I think our favorite, right?
Yeah.
But we did such a good job. Not that to pat ourselves on the back, but we really like this first draft here, and we'll go ahead
You
and
should just let us
transition.
be in charge as a team. We could rebuild this team. We could do it.
So we traded some. And like I said, these trades aren't necessarily realistic.
Yeah. So we traded our first round pick 9, our 3rd round pick 71, and was that this year's 4th or next?
Yeah,
year's
this year's 4th.
This year's 4th at 131. We traded back, picked up the Broncos' 20th pick, their 2nd round pick, and then another pick as well.
Yeah, and they actually went up and got Armand Mamou. So I don't, they're getting a tackle. So who knows? But that being said, whether it's realistic or not, they accepted it. It could. That might be a realistic NFL trade. We're not. There's a calculator, but we're not worried about that.
GMs like that. But.
So we ended up selecting James Pierce, edge rusher. So we have addressed the edge position.
Which desperately needed to be done. We see a lot in Chase Young. Last year, he's a little better than average. Of course, you got Cam Jordan, who has been phenomenal for us all these years. But he's getting older. Didn't have the same production the last couple of years. And then there's
Carl
Granderson too.
Yeah.
And it's not even worth mentioning Isaiah Foskey at this point. You just kind of got to cut your loss there. But we desperately need to address the defensive line. And
especially the edge position, which
yeah,
sucks because we spent a lot of
yeah,
capital,
we've
draft
tried. We
capital,
really
in the
tried.
edge
Peyton
position.
Turner, Marcus Davenport. That's 3 first-round draft picks
Which
right there.
honestly, I'm a little worried to draft an edge player in the first round just because of how bad we've been at it.
Yeah,
But
but this is one James Pierce. I mean, I've seen him on mock drafts earlier this year. I saw him going in the top 15. Saw him going in the top 10. I think I want to say seen him going
yeah,
in the top 10 before
so
mock
he
draft.
fell to us there at 20. He was the best player available, and that's kind of what we're playing at. These are all, in our
This is
opinion, the best players available.
a long-term rebuild, and we're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, I think
So,
that's crazy expectation.
Rather will run this way, run this offense.
Or
But we then
yeah,
select Trey Amos. We liked that pick there. Trey Amos, he's a good corner.
solid upside corner
Someone that's going to help replace Lattimore.
and a Debo.
Yeah. And
It's,
with that extra second round pick, we actually got Jaden Higgins. So we have a very big, versatile,
think he's 6'4".
big wide receiver, 6'4", yeah.
It's what we're missing in our receiving core. We got a lot of
Exactly.
talent there in Rashid and Olave, but they're real quick, real shifty. They're not the kind of guys you want to be
No.
catching over the middle of the field and taking hits.
And obviously we've seen that, with Olave
a
getting
lot of
injured.
injuries. Yeah.
This next pick you'll actually see in every one of our drafts.
Yeah,
We just couldn't pass him. We couldn't pass him. A starting guard in Tate Ratledge, big,
big fan.
physical,
Of Tate Ratledge.
and experienced guard in Tate Ratledge.
He'd probably be our day one starter at left guard. I think who did we pick up? Nick Radens or something like that from the Titans, and then we brought back Will Clapp.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of those guys. I don't think you need to be running into the season with those guys as your starters. So
Yeah, and
it's really a position that
be
needs to be
excited.
addressed. I mean, they're quality backup guys, and kind of like a Lucas Patrick. They can squeeze in there, but you don't want them to be seeing the field for all of your snaps. Really.
We then followed up with Gunnar Helm. He's not much of a blocking tight end, but he is a receiving tight end. So when we have the blocking, you'd use
some good
Foster
flashy,
Moreau or someone like that.
Definitely had some good flashy moments out at Texas.
Yeah, I mean he took help. He was a part of the team that almost went to the championship.
So we re-signed Juwan Johnson to a big deal, but behind him you got some questions with the health of Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau. Both of those guys, when healthy, can give us some sort of production, whether it's blocking or kind of that gadget role that Taysom Hill does. But we definitely need to figure something out.
Because I don't, we didn't see anything from Dallin Holker, but whether he works out or not, who knows? But I just don't see it yet. Obviously, he's still got room to grow.
Kind of a practice squad guy.
But then we got Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore is a player we drafted who can play safety, but he's also more of a slot guy.
Yeah.
We drafted him to play the slot in case Alante doesn't work out at the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have Kool-Aid, Alante, Malachi Moore, at slot, and then if he even starts, he's a 6th round safety.
After Reed and Matthew and Howden, I mean, there's not anybody on the team right now who's a lock to make the roster because they're either inexperienced or haven't shown enough to be quality players in the NFL, to be honest. So we will definitely have to add a safety. So it kind of works out here.
Mm-hmm. So we also got Andrew Armstrong. We joked that Trace Gerard from Chat Sports would enjoy this pick. He's an Arkansas fan, but also he's another physical guy. I think we are set at the fast wide receiver.
Looking for somebody with some size.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And if for some reason Jaden Higgins doesn't work out, you have 2 of these guys to go back to back, and then you got Garrett Dellinger, just a guard from LSU. I don't remember him too much, even though I'm an LSU guy, but I don't think he was bad. Our LSU's O-line was pretty solid this year, but you also got a 1st round pick next year. Right?
Yeah.
Out of this draft. We didn't give up any picks other than that. We didn't give him any other picks, so.
Awesome if Rattler works out, but I wouldn't be betting on that. He's fun to watch. But, I mean, if having 2 first-round picks next year, depending where they're at, depending how we do, I mean, Arch Manning's in play. I mean, if you can't trade up to that first pick, Garrett Nussmeier is in play, and then you have another first-round talent you can add. Like, that's a great... This draft here, plus next year's draft, you have a nice little rebuild. You also get out of having to do some of that salary cap gymnastics that we've been doing all these years. So
for
it's a
sure.
fresh way to restart this team.
And
Really
picks one, these first 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, these first 5 picks,
solid.
I think all those guys are day one starters,
Yeah.
So
And also, we want to know who you guys want. Who would you
yeah,
draft at these picks? We'd love y'all's input. We'd
yeah,
love y'all's predictions
and when
too.
we get to the end, we want to know which one you liked the most. So this next draft is the Jackson Dart route. I don't think Dart will be there at 40, but in this case, he was. But if you want to, let's say, compensate for that fact that we don't think he's going to be there at 40, we talked about that third round pick, the earliest third round pick. This is pick 71 and pick 40. Combine those to get up in the first round to
Yeah.
possibly get, another quarterback. And whether that works or not, who knows? I'm not, like I said,
Just gotta jump in front
But-
of the Steelers.
in this case, we took probably my favorite player in this draft, other than probably Shador. I really like
tremendously talented. Ted
yeah.
McMillan.
I'm excited about Ted.
6'5", dude. He's a menace. Huge. He can snag balls in all over the field. Just big catch radius.
Yeah, he's. I mean, they said someone said his ceiling is a Michael Thomas. I'm like, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Bring him in. Yeah.
So Tet, huge fan of Tet. Hope we can. If for some reason we don't want to take a quarterback, we want to take a wide receiver, I'll take it.
Yeah, dude. I'd be very happy with that pick.
And then we followed that pick up with Jackson Dart. Dart's played in the SEC. He's playing for a pro style offense.
And there's no sort of, it's not cemented that a Jackson Dart or a Shador Sanders are going to work out in the NFL. But I mean, we took in a new head coach, and the chances of us not doing anything at the quarterback position, I think it's slim. I think he's going to bring in whoever he wants, whether that's Jackson Dart or Shador Sanders. I just don't see us rolling with just Rattler and Hayner next year and Ben DiNucci.
Yeah, if he wants his guy, if he wants that guy, then take him.
I mean, you gave Dennis Allen whoever he wanted. He wanted Derek Carr, and look, dude, it didn't work out.
Yeah,
and didn't work out for either of them. And I kind of think that Mickey Loomis, he doesn't always learn from what he does. But truthfully, Kellen Moore has a lot more upside at head coach. He's coming off a Super Bowl win, So give him the same sort of freedom you gave Dennis Allen. Let him go get his guy and see what he can do. If you pick somebody in the first round and 2 or 3 years goes by and you see that he fails, that's probably Kellen Moore's out the door as well. But, you got to assume they're going to let Kellen Moore go and get his guy.
All right. So real quick, that camera is at 15% and dropping. So We'll speed it up. We're not going to go too much into, later on in these picks, but I will say the ones that stand out, obviously Tate Ratledge, Dylan Sampson. I would love that pick. In this one we got Armstrong
have we
again.
had any success with any Tennessee running backs before?
I don't think so.
No, I know we got our Alvin Kamara's Alabama running back,
Yeah, that would be all. Yeah. We had probably the best running back. The best running back in Saints history. Alvin Kamara came from Tennessee. I'd love that pick as well. So Dylan Sampson, Tate Ratledge, fine. Kobe Bryant, we addressed corner there. Enjoyed that.
We definitely got to address the secondary. We got to add either safety or corner. Somebody to, Alontae Taylor proved to be a complete liability, but we've seen flashes of greatness for him. We really need to add somebody in there and help get the best out of these guys and, compete to stay on the field sort of thing.
Yeah, so then we got a versatile defensive lineman here, another safety / it's the same kind of style we wanted before, a guy that's going to help bolster the, move around the secondary. And then on the late round,
again,
late round tight end or tackle. So, that's the Jackson Dart route. Finally here, this is the big one, and we got an F for this. This is our worst graded one, but this is one of my favorite ones we did.
Look, I think Shador Sanders has what it takes. Obviously, it's hard to tell with rookie quarterbacks. It's hard to grade them. But he was deadly accurate in college, and he has that pro style pedigree coming up from, being the son of Deion Sanders. A lot of people mark that down against him, but I think that's phenomenal. I think it completely re-energizes the fan base.
I think it does too, and not only that, but he's a show. He's an entertainer, right?
Yeah,
he's going to be the NFL is going to be talking about him. He's going to bring more people talking about New Orleans for sure.
Without him, we won't have primetime games.
Yeah, no one's like I said,
Primetime
it's
junior.
he's
Nobody's.
not a guaranteed starter, right? He's
Yeah.
not a guaranteed he's going to work out, but I think he has all the tools that he would need to be a competent starter. And you know
Yeah.
what? Like you said, it'd just be exciting.
Yeah.
We got Jaden Higgins. I know we talked. I think we took him in the
Another big-
first in this first one here.
We like the big bodied receivers. We love
We-
our receivers we got now, but there's something missing.
We're ready for something.
Yeah.
We're ready for some more physicality. And this one we got Tate Ratledge again.
Gotta take him.
We got Lathan Ransom. I've heard a lot of good things about him, but he's more of a safety rather than that that slot guy like we got with Malachi Moore later on, as you see. But Ransom, I'd be excited about that. Tyran's getting older, so it doesn't hurt to have a backup safety there. And I don't know if
you need somebody back there too, because we only got 3 safeties that are locked in the team right now. I guess JT Gray too, but he's
Quindarius. I know, and
locked for a different reason.
And then you never know if Howden's going to work out, but then we get Quindarius Robinson. That edge rusher / kind of linebacker.
We have an insider.
I have a big Alabama fan friend who really
he can name you all 53 players on their team.
Yeah,
he's
for
the
sure.
Real deal Alabama fan.
He's the Alabama version. What he does, like what he likes with the team. He's like how we are with the Saints is how he is with Alabama.
He knows ball.
So I think they call him Q, if not mistaken. But very versatile edge rusher. I think he can also kind of play a little bit of linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We knew a lot about this. We read about it a little bit more when we pulled it up. But Brandon Crenshaw, Dixon.
Yep.
Tackle, also can play guard. Cool. Love it, right?
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
We just got to get some offensive line depth. Yeah, I mean, maybe they work out. Maybe they don't.
But, Andrew Armstrong again, guard again. So we got three O-linemen here. We emphasized on rebuilding the O-line.
Both trenches, defensive line, offensive line. So it's very important. I mean, we had I think second to last ranked rush defense last year. So defensive end. I mean, and then we had I think the second worst explosive run rate last year as well. So trenches on both sides. They have to be addressed.
So, I mean, I don't know, what do you guys like? Do you like, the Jackson Dart route, the Shador route? If he even falls, there's no telling where Shador is going to go. Or do you like building for the future? You want to get your guy in Arch Manning. You want to rock that number 8 jersey again. Sure, I'd love it. But, realistically, none of these drafts that we just did, and none of the drafts from your favorite reporters, 10. So like I said, we had an hour and a half episode, so my camera's getting a little low here.
And I'll make a deal with you. Put in the comments if you get the first three rounds right. Yes, we have 2 third-round picks, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. If you get those 3 rounds right, I will send you a Talking Saints T-shirt in the mail for free. So let us know what you think.
So wait, hold on a second. What if these?
I will send you a.
You're gonna send me a Talking Saints shirt?
If you get the first 3 rounds right, and then remember there's two third round picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of them is gone in a trade. If you get the top 3 right, I'll send you a T-shirt in the mail. So let us know what you think. Let us see your predictions. I'd love to see one of you guys get it right. I'd love to see one of us get it right.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I like our draft.
No one knows. No one knows. Your favorite analyst doesn't know. I mean, it's all. Only the NFL teams know what their draft boards are. So. That being said, guys, with the 9% left I have on this, we've already talked about it once.
9% for the 9th pick in the
number 9 Shador Sanders. There you go. But a year ago, I think it was April 27th. We filmed our first episode, so we're almost there. In the first episode, we talked about our first 2 picks.
Aliese Fuaga.
And Kool-Aid McKinstry.
We struggled for a while to figure out how to say that name.
Yeah, I know. And I don't
Kool-Aid is very hard to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been fun. We talked about it, especially with an hour-long episode. There's no... We kind of... Here, we'll maybe go ahead to full screen here. Realistically... I didn't think anybody was watching at the end of that hour-long episode. We would love for you to, but obviously long episodes, it takes a lot of attention, takes a lot of time. Yeah. But at the end of the day, even if there wasn't, the whole point is we really
We
enjoy
love to talk about the Saints.
talking about Saints.
Like,
Hence the name,
we'll
Talking
probably
Saints.
leave here and then we'll go do more mock
Yeah, we're
drafts. Like,
probably gonna do
that's-
more mock drafts. Talk about the Saints more. I mean, it's
And then after the draft, we'll probably do more mock drafts for 2026.
yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing about this is our energy reflects how the Saints are doing because we're true fans of the team.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we don't always bring it on the episodes, and sometimes it's hard to be a Saints fan, dude. We're fans more than we are analysts. We're fans more than we are reporters. We're just fans, dude. We're just like every one of you who are watching. So.
Mm-hmm. And we appreciate all the support we've got, all the comments we've got over the year. I think
189 subscribers.
I think this is our 38th episode.
That's
so I mean, it's crazy. It might be somewhere in the 30s. But
38th video.
Yeah, something
we
like
had
that.
a couple
like shorter stuff,
songs,
but still, I mean, we had like you said though, we've had a theme song. We've
Christmas
interviewed
video
with Nick
was so
Underhill,
much fun.
the Christmas episode.
Dude, we did a fireside episode. We burned a jersey.
That was fun. That was fun.
We want to continue to do that creative stuff as we go.
Yeah, and we're not making any money off of this. We're doing it because we enjoy doing it, and yeah. What? Wait a minute.
No, I'm just kidding.
But to end it all off, to bring it down to 1 point. I know it's not been the greatest season, right? Started off really fun, but
off season's fun.
It is off season's so fun. You don't got to worry about the team winning. It's
we signed Ugo Amadi.
Oh yeah, that's an episode for another day. But look, we appreciate all y'all's support, and as always, Alex, what do you got for us?
I just want to thank everybody for who's been here. And just continue to like and comment and share the videos. It goes a long way, and we really appreciate it. Help us grow. We're at 189 right now. We'd love to be over 200 by the beginning of the season. But
we can make that happen.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Just share. And, if you are one of those viewers who's made it just, this far and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Yeah, I mean, come on. How are you? You can't go wrong with supporting a award-winning podcast.
Award-winning. I don't know.
You can see it. They can see it. They can see it. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
But anyways, guys, we appreciate you watching, and as always, we'll see you next week.
Talking Saints, feel the rush every